Professional wrestling is the one true sport. Other sports have their share of intense, dramatic moments, but nothing can compare with professional wrestling. Welcome to Wrestling History X, where three friends come together to talk about the stories behind the matches. I'm Matt.
And I'm here for the tossed salad and peeled potato.
Ooh, someone's hungry. Welcome to episode 360, Slamboree 1999.
Watch rules and bones shattered. Is that what it says?
Yeah. In the comfort of your own home.
In the comfort of... Watch rules and bones shattered. Okay, the way that I said that felt so wrong.
I mean, it's just a bad tagline, but that's WCW for you.
Yeah. Yes, it is. Watch rules and bones be shattered would...
True.
Yeah.
But do it in the comfort of your own home.
Absolutely.
Put your PJs on.
Mm-hmm.
Sit on your couch.
Don't bother buying a ticket.
Right.
I mean, basically, the big two are selling out in any pay-per-view anyway at this point because wrestling's so big.
So this is the 7th Slamboree produced by WCW. It would take place on May 9th, 1999 from the TWA Dome in St. Louis, Missouri, with an attendance of 20,516. But I have seen that about 7,000 of that was papered.
Damn. A lot of free tickets.
A lot of free tickets. So they really were trying to stay in the comfort of their own home.
Yeah. Buy rate of 195.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
1,000, that is, not 195 people.
No. 195,000.
Yeah. I mean, I guess coming off of the numbers we saw for WrestleMania 15 or whatever, like no one's keeping it up like that, which was I think in the 800,000-ish.
Like Backlash was 400.
Yeah.
Stampede was 255. So it's
trending
downwards. But something that came out right around the same time as Slamboree 1999, The Mummy would come to theater the same weekend.
Saw this one in the theater and loved it.
Yeah?
I don't know if I've seen any of the sequels. I imagine they're not as good.
You never saw Scorpion King?
Is that the one with The Rock?
Yes.
I've seen the scene. I've never seen the movie. But I saw the first one in the theater and I watched it a whole bunch because it's great and it's still great.
Maybe it was the first time that I saw Rachel Weisz in something. I mean, obviously Brandon Fraser had done like Encino Man and stuff like that. So this was a little bit of a different kind of role for him.
Yeah, it'd be an action guy for a change.
TV stuff, Stealing Beauty. She was in Stealing Beauty. Chain Reaction, that really bad Keanu Reeves film.
I don't know either of these movies.
And then The Mummy. So, I mean, I think The Mummy, we could definitely say The Mummy was probably her breakout role.
Yeah, I mean, cool with me. She's a babe.
Yeah.
I was pretty young. I remember when the scarab thing crawled under the guy's skin. I closed my eyes a little bit. But
I always thought the scarabs were cool. Like,
they were awesome.
I've always said that, like, if I ever got a tattoo, I would get a scarab, which because they look cool.
Yeah.
But I hate needles, so I'm never going to get a tattoo.
Yeah, everybody's got tattoos now. Be cool. Don't have one. Yeah, great movie. I mean, there's not a whole lot to say about it really, right? It's good. It holds up. And
sequel coming out.
Another one?
Soon?
There's 3, right? And then, like, there's a Mummy trilogy with Brendan Fraser, and then there's, like, offshoot stuff, right?
I mean, I just know of the one.
I think there's 3. I could be wrong.
Yeah, I only see one on his... And it's supposed to be 2028, Mummy 4. It's supposed to bring back all the main people from the original.
Brendan Fraser, like,
It's with the Radio Silence guys who did the last 2 Scream movies.
Oh.
Because they got kicked off of Scream.
Really? I don't think I've seen the last 2 Scream.
I don't know if they got kicked off.
But they left it behind.
They left it behind, yeah.
But Brendan Fraser, like, I think in that first movie, he did a lot of his own stunts and, like, really hurt himself. And, you know, I think he had some issues with prescription pills and things and what have you. But it's like, how is he going to... I guess nowadays they can just CGI everything. But I just can't see Brendan Fraser starring in an action movie. Maybe it's because it's the last thing I saw him in was The Whale. And I know he's not that big in real life.
He nearly died during a scene where his character is hung.
Oh, yeah.
Fraser literally stopped breathing and had to be resuscitated.
Damn. Yeah, I know he had... Yeah. I know I've heard things about him getting really fucked up from the shooting of that movie, but almost dying is a little bit more than fucked up.
But I mean, Mummy, very fun action film. Actually is a...
PG-13 blockbuster. Fun for the whole family.
I'm not a, like, scary ride guy, but the Mummy roller coaster at Universal is pretty good.
Oh, yeah. It's obviously based off of this movie and not the original Universal's The Mummy.
Correct. It is based off this. And it's definitely not based off the Tom Cruise Mummy either.
Yeah, nobody saw that.
I mean, I saw it. Yeah.
It's crazy that they were...
I'm a Tom Cruise guy.
I do like Tom Cruise, but it just looked so silly.
I mean, that was supposed to be the reboot of the Universal Monster.
Turning those into action movies is crazy. Being like, we're gonna Marvelize the Universal monsters is such a dumb idea.
It was.
Because like Frankenstein and Dracula and all those been remade a million times. I mean, there was Nosferatu like a year or two ago, and I think Luc Besson just put out a Dracula movie like a week ago. Yeah, and there's Del Toro's Frankenstein just came out, and then there's a like weird Bride of Frankenstein movie that's about to come out. They just crank these shit out.
Maggie Gyllenhaal.
Oh yeah,
directing.
I think that trailer just looks silly, and I like Christian Bale and I like Jesse Buckley a lot, but I'm like, this doesn't look like anything that. And I think what was Maggie Gyllenhaal's first movie? I think I saw it. I think it's a movie with Olivia Colman that's good and weird.
I mean, I think the first thing I ever saw her in.
No, I mean like a movie she directed.
Oh, director.
Yeah, I think it's called. I can't remember what it's called.
There's The Lost Daughter.
Yeah,
that's the only other thing she did.
Yeah, it was like a Netflix movie. That movie was pretty.
And Jessie Buckley.
Yes, she's in it. That movie was pretty good and interesting. And this movie, that based on the trailer and the fact that it's Frankenstein and a Bride of Frankenstein, is a totally different vibe and way more like stylized and shit. The Lost Daughter was a kind of like creepy, lonely drama with some twists, but I remember liking it and thinking it was neat. It's a weird that this is Frankenstein project is her next thing.
But it's like interesting that it's like going to be set in 1930s Chicago.
Yeah, maybe she's mad about. Or no, she was the second Batman lady.
Yeah, Katie Holmes was in
the first one.
Batman Begins, and then
she was in The Dark Knight.
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, The Mummy. Watch it. I will promise it's more entertaining than the original Universal Monsters, The Mummy, which is not my favorite of the Universal Monsters.
I knew about the Scorpion King because that has The Rock in it,
yeah,
obviously. And I knew that there was a Mummy Returns. But I guess there was a third?
Yeah, that's what I thought. I thought there was 3, and then the Scorpion King is its own thing.
So because I literally thought Scorpion King was why they were calling it Mummy 4. But it's Scorpion... Here, it's The Mummy, Tomb of the Dragon Emperor.
That's what 4 is?
That's what 3 is.
Oh.
And it had Brandon Fraser, Jet Li is the bad guy, Michelle Yeoh, a guy named Luke Ford played Rick's son.
Well, how much later is it from the original?
It came out in 2008.
Oh, so it was like 11 years.
9 years later, because this is 99. This came out. No clue who this guy is.
Yeah, I don't think like I said, I've seen the first one probably like 15 times. I don't think I've seen anything else outside of the bad CGI rock, which is from the Scorpion King, right? Or is it from the Mummy 2?
I thought it was from Scorpion. Well, no, he's in Mummy Returns, and then that's how he got
the Scorpion King.
Scorpion King.
The Scorpion King is a WWF film, I believe.
It might be. You might be right about that. Because, yeah, Dwayne plays Voslow's, like, second or something like that, doesn't he? I don't remember. It's been a long time since I've watched these movies.
We can vouch for the first one, though.
I can. It's good.
It's good. It's fun. It's got, it's got more of a Indiana Jones vibe than most things that try to do that. I would say it holds up better than the National Treasure movies, which I find kind of boring. Just a little bit.
They're fun, but,
Yeah. I mean...
I think it's kind of apples and oranges for me on those.
Yeah, I guess.
Because National Treasure's played more of a comedy at times than the Mummy ever is. So, but if you haven't ever seen it or any of the sequels,
at least watch the first.
Go out there, have some fun, watch them. Mummy 4 will be out in theaters within the next few years.
Yeah, maybe we need to catch up.
Do a rewatch. But let's talk some Slamboree 99. A video package comes on showing highlights of all of the competitors we will see tonight. When Tony Schiavone welcomes us to the show, joined by Mike Tenay and Bobby the Brain Heenan. And then you go over some of the matches before sending it to Mean Gene in the aisleway to shield the hotline and talk up the excitement in the building. And we go straight to our first match. The Four Horsemen of Chris Benoit and Dean Malenko with the enforcer Arn Anderson.
Love to see it.
Versus Raven and Saturn. Versus Rey Mysterio Jr. and Kidman in a triangle match for the WCW World Tag Team Championships.
My first thought was like, oh no, they're going to put all of this talent in the first match? What is the rest of the show going to be? But we'll get there. First things first.
But the triangle match means that 3 people are in the ring, 1 from each team at all times.
Yeah.
And Billy and Perry team up on Malenko to start with a double clothesline, a back body drop, and a drop kick to send Dean out of the ring. So Benoit jumps in, only to be taken down by a T-bone suplex and a drop kick to send him to the floor. Saturn clotheslines Kidman, followed by an overhead belly-to-belly suplex to toss Billy over the ropes. And Malenko returns to attack from behind, hitting a leg lariat for a 2 count, but Kidman breaks it up. So the Horsemen team up for a combo drop kick German suplex for a near fall.
Yes.
And Raven tags in for a snap suplex to the Crippler, picking him up when Rey springboards in with a drop kick to knock them down.
Rey Mysterio with no mask and in overalls is one hell of a look.
Benoit answers back with chops and goes for a powerbomb, only for Mysterio to reverse into a Hurricanrana before the Tormented Souls back up to take down Rey momentarily. Raven then snapmares the Crippler down and makes a cover, but he moves in time as Mysterio springboards in with a leg drop, only for the Tormented Soul to attempt the cover, when Rey would drag him off and go for the cover himself, which Raven breaks up.
The thing about these triangle matches, there's an extra guy always there to break up that pin.
And after Mysterio sent hard into a corner, he tags out, with Kidman working with Benoit to dump him on the top rope. But the Crippler immediately turns on Billy with chops and snot missiles. Kidman then ducks a clothesline to connect with a sit-out powerbomb, heading up top to deliver a splash, only for Benoit to avoid. And Billy looks to keep control with a suplex, but the Crippler counters into a crossface, only for the Tormented Soul to be back in to break it up. Raven and Saturn with a combo front suplex, top rope splash to Benoit, with the cover being broken up by Malenko, who then gets into a back and forth with Mysterio, who gets sent to a corner, only to leap to the top and off with a moonsault onto his opponent, causing Dean and Perry to make a save. And the Horsemen bail to the floor, leaving the others to brawl when the Tormented Soul dumps Kidman outside, while Rey nails a flying head scissors to Saturn. Raven with a clothesline to send Mysterio to the floor, followed by Perry leaping over the top with a plancha onto all of his opponents, except for the Crippler, who returns to take down the tormented soul with a suplex and a flying headbutt. But Saturn makes the save.
You get the ideas, folks.
Benoit with chops to parry, joined by Malenko to double team and keep everyone at bay before a clothesline to Saturn for a 2 count. They continue with a double team suplex to parry, double team back body drop to Ray, stomping away on anyone who comes in the ring, when Billy would reverse a whip to nail a clothesline to the Crippler. He looks to do the same to Saturn, only for Perry to duck and hit a hook kick to his opponent. And Saturn crotches Kidman on the ropes, followed by a springboard clothesline that takes them both to the floor. He goes to get back in the ring when Benoit would deliver a springboard clothesline as well, leaving everyone down on the outside. And the Crippler drags Perry in for a trio of German suplexes for a near fall, when Billy would make the save, as everybody else brawls on the outside, bringing Malenko back in to work over Saturn and attempts to apply the cloverleaf, only for Perry to cradle him up for a 2 count. Kidman's taken down by a powerbomb from Dean before Saturn's sent to a corner, leaping up and over a charging Malenko, knocking Benoit off the apron, but Dean is able to forearm Perry to the 4. And the Crippler stomps away on Saturn, while Malenko powerbombs Billy again for a near fall, followed by tagging Benoit in to suplex Perry for a 2 count, with Kidman breaking it up, so the Crippler exchanges strikes and delivers a full Nelson suplex for a near fall. Dean returns to send Billy to the ropes, and he goes for a pop-up, but Kidman counters into a dropkick, forcing Malenko to tag out, with Benoit taking over with chops on Perry, only for him to respond with a side Russian leg sweep and crawl to his corner for the hot tag. Raven cleans house with strikes, clothesline, and a trio of snap suplexes to the Crippler, making the cover for a near fall. And Saturn returns to team up with Kidman for a double team clothesline on Benoit before Billy tags out to Ray, who exchanges strikes with Perry and hits a hurricanrana, with the Crippler breaking up that pin attempt. Benoit then sends Mysterio hard into a corner, bringing Dean in for a double team clothesline on Saturn, but Perry ducks, causing the Horsemen to hit the ropes, where the tormented soul trips up Malenko, while Saturn power slams the Crippler. Ray also tagged out, with Kidman climbing to the turnbuckles to fly off with a clothesline to Benoit, before Mysterio leaps off a different corner with a hurricanrana to Perry. Dean comes back in and looks to powerbomb Billy again, but this time Kidman rolls through for a sunset flip pin attempt that gets a near fall.
Drink every time there's a near fall. You'd be dead.
Pretty much. Ray knocks Raven down into a corner and nails a Bronco Buster, as Billy sets the Crippler on a turnbuckle for Mysterio to run and be popped up by Kidman into a Frankensteiner on Benoit. And the champs team up for the same move on Saturn, only for him to catch and powerbomb Ray down to the mat, followed by going for a powerbomb on Billy. But Kidman flips through to hit a facebuster for a 2 count. Billy with a tornado bulldog to the tormented soul, Malenko with forearms to Kidman. Perry attacks Dean from behind and goes to whipping, only to be reversed when the enforcer jumps into the ring to deliver a spine buster.
Don't you just love seeing Arn do anything?
I love it. Malenko then locks in the Texas Cloverleaf on Saturn, while Kidman heads up top for his finisher to Raven, when a man in a sting mask pulls Billy down, causing him to crotch himself, and allowing the tormented soul to nail a super ebb and flow DDT. Raven then makes the cover, with the ref making the count for the pin and the win, as Perry never tapped out to the Cloverleaf. And new! Post-match, the masked man rips his mask off to reveal Canyon, leading to the new champs celebrating with their belts. And the replay even shows the ref was checking, looked over to it, was as he did the 1 and still looked over to make sure he wasn't tapping 2. Good work by the referees.
Yeah. It was a fun match. The dirty finish, but it's a 3-way.
Yeah.
Kind of need that. Otherwise, it's never going to happen. And that's better than everybody laying on the outside of the ring.
Yes.
I swear the first time we see the Sting mask guy, he didn't have a ponytail. And then he took his mask off and he had a ponytail and it was Canyon. But it was probably him the whole time, just with his ponytail like tucked up. I have no idea. But I was like, because at first I was like, who is this?
He grew a ponytail.
It's a clip-on. Fun
match.
Yeah, it could have been not a Sting mask, but because I'm just so over the Sting mask.
Yeah.
But I mean, they got thousands of them in the arena. They might as well use it, I guess.
Yeah. We then get a video package showing highlights of Diamond Dallas Page. I think these are the same video packages they showed on Nitro. And
yeah.
We literally don't show anything.
Yeah, we've talked about it recently, but they're just showing like cool edited videos, but like nothing that involves like story or even really these guys doing like a cool finisher or whatever. It's just like the holographic baseball card of packages. It's weird.
Yeah. But we go to our second match. Stevie Ray with Vincent and Horace Hogan versus Konnan. Yeah.
Like, it's crazy that they would build up the NWO black and white, make a new one, and then just take all the guys that everybody liked from the original one and now put a different coat of paint on it, and then have Stevie Ray be the leader of the thing that made your company cool for a while. It's just so short-sighted and silly. You should have at least somebody that matters.
It's lame.
It's incredibly lame. Did they even they should have just there's like people are probably burning their NWO black and white shirts at this point.
Probably. But K-Dog takes the mic to hype the crowd and make fun of the black and white, which is where you got your nickname from.
Yeah, what a stupid line. It's Konnan. What are we gonna do?
And Stevie takes his opponent to a corner and works him over to start, whipping him across the ring and charging in, only for Konnan to move in time, leading to mounted punches, a float over Bulldog, and a basement dropkick for a 2 count. Vincent jumps on the apron to distract, allowing Stevie Ray to nail a thrust kick and tossing K-Dog to the floor, where the NWO delivers strikes. Now back inside, Stevie hits multiple clotheslines, including a botched one, elbow drops and chin locks to wear his opponent down, when Konnan rallies but receives a back elbow and a vertical suplex for a near fall. Stevie Ray continues with a body slam and a second rope double axe handle, only for K-Dog to get his boot up to the chin, followed by a rolling lariat and a facebuster, which again brings Vincent to the apron, but he's knocked off by a forearm. And Konnan goes to run the ropes when Horace trips him up from the floor, which Stevie takes advantage of for a leg drop, when Rey Mysterio Jr. runs down, only for the NWO to stop him, with Vincent holding him for a clothesline. But Rey moves in time, causing Hogan to take down his partner instead.
And the spot was done twice because
they have no timing.
Yeah.
Mysterio would then fly off the apron with a drop kick to them before climbing to the top to leap off with a hurricanrana, only for Stevie Ray to catch him. But K-Dog cradles up his opponent at the same time for the pin and the win.
It's a little too much for Stevie Ray. A little too long for Stevie Ray, even if it didn't sound like it was.
I'm going to say this now, and we'll discuss it more later. Stevie Ray required Rey Mysterio to come down and interfere to take a pinfall. Just keep that in the back of your head. We then get a highlight package of Kevin Nash before going to Rick Steiner at the WCW.com table. And Rick says he's ready for tonight, that this is his chance for a singles run, and accuses Booker T of attacking him the other night. Booker T didn't attack you, bro. Stevie Ray did. They're brothers. So. And we get a highlight package of Sting now, followed by Bam Bam Bigelow backstage, when DDP would stop him to have a discussion. But we can't hear what they're saying. when Mike Tenay mentions that they both grew up in the Jersey Shore area.
Yeah, they have a conversation, but it looks friendly. It doesn't look,
We're just going to say right now, they're actually sprinkling some seeds down with this conversation. I know, WCW, it's crazy, but I'm going to give them some credit.
I mean, yeah. We can't do it super often, so when it's there, you gotta acknowledge it.
Yeah. But that takes us to our third match. Brian Knobbs versus Bam Bam Bigelow in a Falls Count Anywhere match. And neither man has music as they walk out.
Yeah.
I just happened to notice it, and I was like, that's weird.
Yeah, I noticed that Brian Knobbs didn't have music. And I was like, well, people
Why
are
wouldn't
going
you just play the Nasty Boy song? He's a nasty boy.
But he's also the one that people are going to cheer for Bam Bam.
Yeah.
So I could see Brian Knobbs, nobody's giving a shit about him. He hasn't been on TV a lot for a while.
But if he has music.
If he has no music, everybody will fill that music with booze. But to do it for both of them is weird.
So Bam Bam brings out a cart of plunder to the ring, throwing it all inside.
Big old, merino laundry basket full.
When Knobbs wipes his opponent out with a garbage can when Bigelow enters the ring, and does the same with a pizza pan and a cookie sheet. Brian's back to using the trash can, charging in with it, but Bam Bam gets a boot up and slams Knobbs down for a 2 count. Bigelow uses the trash can and cookie sheets to lay out Brian before going up for a diving headbutt for a near fall. And Knobbs grabs a chair to whack Bam Bam across the back, running trash can splash for a 2 count, goes for another chair shot, only for Bigelow to low bridge the ropes, causing Brian to crash out to the floor. And Bam Bam whips his opponent into the ring steps when Knobbs returns the favor, followed by a duel of weapons, which Bigelow wins before ramming Brian into the railing and crushing his head between 2 lids.
The old monkey symbol.
And they continue to brawl on the outside using different items when Knobbs tosses Bam Bam into the plunder cart, charging in, but Bigelow avoids and smashes a bucket over his opponent's head. And Brian fights back with a hard shot from a garbage can, only for Bam Bam to nail a chair shot over the head. And they're fighting up the aisleway, using trash cans, the railing, the internet table, and the merch table, when Bigelow is sent through a fake wall. But also this merch table is just set up on the concourse of the arena.
Yeah, a place that
no one can get to.
Yeah. WCW style.
Yeah. Knobbs then grabs a ladder and slams it down on Bam Bam before placing his opponent on the merch table. He then climbs to the balcony above, leaping off, but he overshoots the table, so he hits all concrete.
It's brutal.
Allowing Bigelow to suplex Knobbs through the table for the pin and the win.
And that was almost felt planned since Bam Bam wins by suplexing through the table. But
I think what was supposed to happen was Bam Bam was supposed to move. He was just supposed to go
fall
through the table
and then be pinned.
But since he didn't go through the table, they were like, well, we have to end with the table breaking.
Yeah, this was just taking turns hitting each other with trash cans.
Yes, that is what this was.
But I will give it up for Bam Bam for giving so much to Knobbs. He didn't need to do that.
No.
Because he really let Knobbs
kind of beat the crap out of him a little bit.
Yeah. It almost felt like Bam Bam was working from underneath for the most of the match.
We then get a video package over our next match, where we see Rick Steiner being knocked out by Stevie Ray and his blackjack, which would help Booker T pick up a victory. See? I literally just said this. It was Stevie Ray that attacked you, bro. The same thing ends up happening to Ming, which we actually saw a couple weeks ago on Nitro, episode 358, which brings the dog-faced gremlin down to the ring to brawl with Stevie. But Booker would confront Steiner in the back, leading to them brawling and to this match.
Any excuse for me to see Rick in the ring.
So we go to our fourth match, Rick Steiner versus Booker T for the WCW World Television Championship. And we get back and forth action to start, when Steiner would hit a belly-to-belly suplex and a clothesline that sends the champ bailing out to regroup. Booker returns for more back and forth that sees headlocks, back elbows, kicks, slams, and arm work, until the dog-faced gremlin ducks a clothesline to nail one of his own, which sends Booker T to the floor. And Rick falls out to slam Booker against the railing several times, rolling back in to keep the attack with a German suplex for a 2 count. And Steiner continues to wear down his opponent, delivering an elbow drop and sending Booker T to a corner. Charges in with a back elbow, which leads to exchange strikes, which Rick gets the better of to hammer away on Booker. And the dog-faced gremlin with a whip to the ropes when he telegraphs his move, only to be kicked away and slammed down. But Steiner is first to his feet to pound away some more. And the champ begins to fire up, elbowing his way free to nail a forearm, an axe kick, and a spin-a-rooney into a spinebuster, followed by a missile dropkick from the top rope. And Booker T makes the cover, only for Scott Steiner to come running down. So Booker kicks him off the apron, giving Rick the opportunity to hit the champ with a Steiner line for the pin, and no, Booker T kicks out. Big Papa Pump climbs to the apron again as Booker reverses a whip that sends the two Steiners into each other, before connecting with a Harlem sidekick for the pin, and no, Rick kicks out. The dog-faced gremlin ducks a clothesline, with Booker T bouncing off the ropes, where Scott trips him up, allowing Rick to deliver a top rope bulldog for the pin and the win. And new.
Hell yeah, I'm happy for my dog-faced gremlin.
Once again, back of the head, just remember this.
Rick Steiner couldn't beat
Rick
Booker.
Steiner, no selling stuff. Okay. I also do have a fun note about this match. It's been 3,730 days since Rick had been the World TV Champ, last holding it at Chi-Town Rumble in 1989. And so I was like, it's been 10 years since he's held this belt. And I was like, what is the longest between holding a belt?
Yeah.
And the only list I could find was for WWE Championship reigns. Okay. And this would be the 4th longest between title reigns.
Damn.
You got The Rock, because, he leaves at some point.
Yeah.
Lesnar, because he leaves at some point. And Bob Backlund, because he held it before Hogan, and then ended up winning it, right before Brett.
Yeah. He was the in-between.
So it was just kind of like one of those, weird.
It is weird. That was like what were they called? When Rick Steiner had it last. He was in that era where he was talking.
Oh, it was the Varsity Club.
Varsity Club, yeah. And he was talking to an imaginary friend.
He lost it to, he went IRS, Mike Rotundo.
Yeah.
That's who he lost it to at Chi-Town Rumble.
Who, what was the name of his imaginary friend? Kevin or some shit?
Sure. Sounds right. It's been a few episodes, bro.
It has for sure. And that is, it wasn't a good gimmick then. So,
no.
It's not like...
I tried to forget it.
Yeah, it's not Socko.
You thought it was funny.
That's just because I like Rick Steiner.
So we go to a video package over our next match, where we see Ric Flair and Macho Man arguing, while Gorgeous George slaps Charles Robinson, followed by Savage making the challenge that my girl can be your girl to get me reinstated.
Shots fired.
Make sure you follow all that right there.
Yeah.
And Charles calls George a bimbo before Asya chokes her out as well. And then we're live back in the arena where we cut to the back, where Rick is looking for his brother, only to run into Buff Bagwell.
Scotty!
Who says he hasn't seen Scott anywhere, while Steiner wishes Buff good luck in his match. Cool.
Yeah.
That takes us to our 5th match. Little Natch, Charles Robinson, with the Nature Boy Ric Flair and Asya, versus Gorgeous George with Team Madness of Macho Man Randy Savage, Miss Madness, and Medusa.
Love to see Medusa. She shouldn't have worn those 6-inch heels because she makes George look...
even shorter than she actually is.
Yeah, and she's very short.
And Flair takes the mic to say he always wanted Medusa to ride Space Mountain.
Woo.
Before hyping up Robinson, who takes the mic to say Gorgeous George can ride his Space Mountain after he beats her. Only for Macho Man to grab the mic to tell George to kick little Natch's ass. And we get going with Robinson strutting around, doing his best Flair impression.
Yeah, he's doing a good job of it, like being tongue-in-cheek, but not overtly silly.
And he gets some advice from the Nature Boy before he goes to lock up. But Gorgeous George just moves out of the way to talk to Savage. We get arm work by both competitors when George gets Charles in a full Nelson, slamming him down, followed by shoving him into Flair, who has climbed to the apron. Savage and the Nature Boy both jump in the ring to face off as Robinson pouts around ringside, when Flair hands Charles a chair to use. But Miss Madness steals it away, leading to Robinson attacking her and slamming her on the floor. And Team Madness runs over to check on their teammate, while Little Natch and the ref get into an argument inside, with Johnny Boone shoving Charles down.
You shouldn't be pushing refs.
Gorgeous George finally makes it back inside, where Robinson attacks, choking her on the ropes and chops in a corner, when George would fight out with chops of her own and a whip to a corner for a Flair flip to the apron. Rushes to the next turnbuckle, only for George to press slam him down to the mat for a 2 count.
Yep, keep it nice and easy.
Gorgeous George continues with a clothesline, which gets us a Flair flop, before a hair toss across the ring, charging into a corner, only for Little Natch to move in time. And Asya and the Nature Boy drag Gorgeous George out of the ring, but Medusa runs over to kick the buff nurse in the head, allowing George to return to the ring, where Charles starts working the leg, including a shin breaker and a figure 4. But Gorgeous George is able to roll over to reverse the pressure, which brings Flair rushing in to break it up, only for Macho Man to come in to knock the Nature Boy out of the ring and low-blowing Robinson down. George would then climb to the second rope, coming off with a flying elbow drop for the pin and the win.
Big old pop. Macho Man is back.
That's right.
And I feel like everybody probably just kind of would have assumed that's how this was going to have to go. But
it's WCW, so we don't ever really know.
Yeah.
We then go to a video package over our next match. And we see Buff Bagwell and Scott Steiner having a battle of words with, each making fun of the other.
Big Papa Dump.
Yeah. I was like, they weren't good battle of words, but
yeah.
It was a battle of words. But that takes us to our 6th match. Buff Bagwell versus Scott Steiner for the WCW United States Championship. And Bagwell attacks as soon as Big Papa pumps in the ring, running him into several turnbuckles and a swinging neckbreaker, only for Steiner to retaliate with multiple low blows, a clothesline, elbow drop, and slamming Buff gut first into a corner. Big Papa Pump tosses his opponent to the floor, where he continues the punishment, ramming Bagwell into the railing and apron, before rolling him in for strikes and another gut first slam into a corner. And Steiner begins taunting the crowd, allowing Buff to recover and attack from behind. But it's not enough, as Big Papa Pump responds with turnbuckle smashes, forearms, and a powerbomb. Steiner continues with a belly-to-belly suplex, followed by rolling out to grab a chair, bringing it in and swinging away. But Bagwell ducks and takes out his opponent with a clothesline. And the two exchange strikes when Buff connects with a pair of drop kicks, an atomic drop, a clap of the ears, and a clothesline. But Big Papa Pump pulls the ref in front of him to take the blow as well.
Ref bump.
Bagwell grabs the chair when Rick Steiner would run out, convincing Buff, man, go to the top instead. Don't hit him with a chair. So he drops the weapon, only for the dog-faced gremlin to pick it up and smash it across Bagwell's back. Big Papa Pump would then lock in the Steiner recliner as Rick wakes up the ref for the ref stoppage and the win.
I mean, brothers gotta love.
Yeah.
I mean, hug.
Turn heel together.
Yeah.
Weren't they just feuding? Did we ever see an end to that feud?
That feud lasted a full year.
And they were just finally like, just put them back together.
Yeah.
We'd rather see the Steiner brothers together.
Absolutely.
But they're both singles champions, so, yeah.
I guess they could just continue to interfere in each other's matches.
We then go to a video package about Goldberg. And the announcers then discuss the rest of the matches for the evening before Tony sends it to a video package that contains highlights of Nash, DDP, Sting, and Goldberg. Everyone's getting multiple video packages that show absolutely nothing.
But they look cool.
It then transitions into a different video package with the words, "When power supersedes rational thinking," as we get highlights of Flair telling Piper that he does what he wants to do, when he wants to do it. Absolute power corrupts absolutely, as both men sign paperwork, followed by rational thought is abandoned.
You could say that about either of these guys.
And this is where Roddy is looking to get Nature Boy committed. Can there be a happy ending? Will he recover? As we see Natch in his underpants and getting taken away by orderlies before footage of Flair in the mental hospital.
Dancing with the inmates.
That takes us to our 7th match. Roddy Piper versus the Nature Boy, Ric Flair, with the enforcer Arn Anderson and Asya for control of WCW.
To be El Presidente.
And Mike Tenay hypes up the Ross Report on the hotline. And I was like, the Ross Report? Wait, what? That's right. Ross Corman has an interview with Kevin Nash up right now.
I had the same thing. I was like, Ross.
Well, because like when Jim Ross was in WCW, he did the Ross Report on the hotline.
Just found another Ross.
Yep. Natch and the ref begin arguing before the match begins, with Johnny Boone shoving the president of WCW. So the Nature Boy calls out Charles Robinson to take over, taking a mic to tell Boone that he's fired. And Flair turns to Piper to say he's lucky he doesn't fire him first. And I'm like, but you literally fired him multiple times over the last few weeks, but we still seem to have this match.
Yeah.
But it's still a sanctioned match, but he's not an employee. Convolution, guys. Don't try to understand it.
Just let it wash over you.
But Roddy slaps the Nature Boy, chopping away in a corner, and a back body drop that sends Natch bailing out to regroup.
Crazy to see two guys. I've seen plenty of two guys in black trunks. Only I've ever seen two guys in blue trunks against each other. Like, it was like, what are you guys both wearing blue for? Couldn't have talked ahead of time. Rick's got plenty of colors.
Back in, more exchange chops and strikes, which leads to a Flair flop and rolling out again. But Piper gives chase for more traded chops. And they run back into the ring where the Nature Boy pleads for mercy, which he gets in the way of an eye poke, mounted punches, and a clap of the ears for another Flair flop.
You guys have seen these two fight before, right? You got an idea what this looks like?
And Roddy looks to keep it up, only for Natch to hit the bagpipes. So Piper complains, with the ref not being concerned. Because it's Charles Robinson. When the Nature Boy starts complaining about choking, which causes Robinson to admonish Roddy, when there wasn't any choking at all.
You get the idea. Y'all get the idea.
Flair then tosses his opponent to the floor, where Anderson gets some shots in, before rolling him in for Natch to work him over with chops. Asya jumps in for another low blow, followed by an inside cradle for a 2 count. And Roddy fights back with chops, only for an eye rake from the Nature Boy to slow his momentum. But a reversed whip leads to a back body drop for a near fall. And the enforcer pounds on Piper as he's trying to get to his feet near the ropes. before more traded chops and strikes, when Natch is sent to a corner for a Flair flip all the way to the floor. And Roddy gives chase to chop his opponent against the railing, followed by making their way inside the squared circle where they collide for a double KO.
Oh no.
The Nature Boy's up first to start working the legs, pouncing on them and locking on the figure 4 in the middle of the ring, only for Piper to roll over to reverse it, forcing Flair to break the hold. And Natch tosses Roddy outside where Arn's waiting once again. But Piper knocks him down and returns to the ring with a sunset flip, pulling on Flair's trunks to give us full moon as the Nature Boy runs away around the ring, which drags his opponent along.
Patented Flair ass spot.
Now back to their feet, Natch goes for a hip toss, only for Roddy to counter it into a backslide pin. But Anderson has the ref distracted, so there's no count. And Flair goes for the figure 4 again, only for Piper to cradle him up, which still doesn't get a count. And then Nature Boy climbs to the top, but Roddy press slams him down and locks on a figure 4 of his own, which sees Flair tapping, but the ref doesn't call for the bell.
Ric Flair did a good job of selling the pain of the figure 4.
The enforcer then runs in to knee drop Piper to break it up, followed by a clothesline attempt, only for Roddy to duck and apply a sleeper. But Natch hits Piper from behind to break it up, goes for a whip that's reversed with Roddy locking the sleeper now on the Nature Boy. But Asya gets in the ring to hit Piper in the back. And Roddy drops the hold and turns to look at the buff woman, only to give her a big smooch and apply the sleeper to her. And Robinson pulls Piper off of Asya by the hair, so Roddy wipes out the ref, when Flair would connect with a foreign object, making the cover for the pin and the win. So Flair's still in control.
Yeah.
Post-match, Eric Bischoff comes down to the ring. So the Nature Boy grabs a mic, wondering why he's there, with Bischoff telling Natch to shut up. He's screwed up a lot of things, but he isn't screwing this one up. Everyone here knows that Piper won this match, and Flair, you can bite me. And the Nature Boy protests as they walk away, while Roddy takes the mic to fire Natch and thank Eric. So my question, Michael, who is the authority figure of WCW? Because if we go by storyline, Flair beat Bischoff to become president.
Yes.
Flair then just beat Roddy by the pinfall, but Eric Bischoff, who is actually still the vice president or president of WCW, I don't remember what his actual title at this point was. He's the real one. Like, Flair is president
on television,
kayfabe, but shoot president is Eric Bischoff, and he comes out and says, "No, Roddy won." So is it Flair? Is it Roddy? Is it still Eric Bischoff? I mean,
it's like, are we breaking kayfabe completely? And Eric's just been in control the whole time, but he's saying on TV that this guy's the president.
Yeah, it's like, huh? Like, it makes absolutely no sense.
And Eric Bischoff's the last person we need back out here.
Yeah, I'm like, let the old two guys just fight, and I'm sure they'll fight again at some point.
Yeah.
Mine was just blown at the end of this. I was just like,
just the complete lack of logic.
What the fuck are we doing, guys?
Yeah. I was just happy to see Roddy Piper do Roddy Piper stuff.
Yeah.
Mostly.
We then get a video package over our next match, where we can hear Flair asking who is the franchise, as highlights of Goldberg and Sting are shown. That takes us to our 8th match. Sting versus Goldberg. Did that do anything for you? Get your heart racing a little bit?
I like Sting. The fans love Goldberg. And I was noticing them doing the woes to the Goldberg song. And I was like, is this the first American woe sing-along? Now they just put woes in every song. So the fans...
People will sing along.
So, yeah, so they'll sing along. But, yeah. I hadn't noticed them do that with the Goldberg song before. They may have, but I was like, oh, man, we don't really get that. Like, I don't even remember hearing a lot of people, like a full crowd, sing along to like Hogan's entrance in any real way.
But the two men get into each other's face right away, locking up until Bill hits a knee lift, a body slam, and a clothesline that sends the Stinger over the ropes to regroup. Back in, Goldberg sends his opponent to the ropes and tries for a big boot, but Sting ducks and clotheslines Bill to the outside.
They've already botched a spot, by the way.
Yeah.
Like immediately.
And then they just redid it.
Yeah.
Goldberg returns to lock up again when the Stinger tries for a hip toss, only for Bill to counter into a cross arm breaker, forcing Sting to make the ropes. And strikes in a facebuster from the Stinger, followed by drop kicks to the knee to begin working the leg, dropping elbows across it and applying a Boston Crab. When Goldberg would power out to send Sting through the ropes to the outside. The Stinger comes back in with more strikes and holds until Bill makes it to his feet, but he's taken back down by a snap suplex, which he no-sells to deliver a snap suplex of his own and a swinging neckbreaker for a 2 count. Goldberg then sends Sting to a corner, charging in, only for his opponent to avoid and climb to the top for a flying clothesline and a pair of Stinger splashes. He goes for a third, but Bill catches and drives Sting down to the mat. When Bret Hart would run down, destroying Goldberg with a chair shot to the head and leg, causing a disqualification.
Yeah.
And we haven't seen the Hitman since Nitro on January 25th, 1999, episode 346, as he had quit the company. But really, he's just been out due to a groin injury that he had to have surgery on.
I felt kind of happy for Bret because he really got to crack Goldberg over the top of that head unprotected, and we all know how Bret Hart feels about Goldberg. So I was like, I don't really love the unprotected headshot, but I'm sure Bret probably watches that on Christmas morning. Get his day started off right.
Post-match, the Steiners run out and begin beating down Sting and Goldberg. I smell a match for the next pay-per-view.
Yeah.
We then go to a video package over our main event, where we get highlights of Nash and DDP battling each other. So at least was actual highlights.
It looks really good, and it's like well edited, but there's no overdub or anything to like explain.
No. So we go to our 9th match. Kevin Nash versus Diamond Dallas Page for the WCW World Heavyweight Championship.
And I'm got to say this because I do it every time. At the beginning of the show, they call it a triple main event. There can only be one main event. There definitely can't be 2, and sure as hell there can't be 3. And it's WCW, so if there's no Michael Buffer, there's no main event. So,
and we get Michael Buffer for this one.
Yep.
So let's get ready to bang.
I mean, Lord willing, I don't want to call Kevin Nash Big Sexy or whatever his thing is.
Back and forth to start until Nash hits a back elbow to send the champ out of the ring before coming back in to exchange strikes when DDP would slide to the apron to taunt his opponent, only for Big Sexy to charge in with a high knee that sends Page crashing out onto a railing. Nash follows out to drop DDP on the guardrail, slamming his head on the apron and rolling him back in to continue the assault with knees and elbows in a corner.
I don't know why, but for some reason DDP looks to be in even better shape than normal. He's juicing?
Who knows? Kevin picks up Page for Snake Eyes, only for DDP to wiggle out the back and deliver strikes and chokes, which Nash shrugs off until a low blow puts Big Sexy on his knees. And Page works over Kevin in the corner before pulling a pair of wire clippers out to help rip a turnbuckle pad off. He shows the ref what happened, followed by grabbing a microphone to smash over the head of his opponent for a 2 count.
Where'd he get the microphone?
He literally put his hand out the ropes and someone handed it to him. I was like,
He didn't come out with anybody. Who just given DDP a microphone?
Michael Buffer.
He was like, yeah, whatever. I'm already in. He's halfway out the door already.
And DDP argues with the ref, allowing Nash to yank Page into the exposed turnbuckle, leading to both men being down momentarily.
That was like maybe the fastest set a thing up and use it. It's like, you're supposed to wait a little while, guys. Just the idea is for us to like kind of forget about it.
Yeah. Back to their feet, the two competitors trade strikes until DDP clotheslines his opponent out of the ring and hits a baseball slide. Page then nails a diamond cutter on the floor and tries to cover him, but the ref reminds him that it has to be inside the ring.
Not having it.
So DDP rolls Kevin in to make a leverage pin for a near fall. Page keeps at the attack with elbow drops and wrapping Nash's leg around the ring post several times, when Big Sexy powers DDP into the steel with his legs.
Posted.
Kevin struggles to his feet as Page continues to pound away, finally firing up with the elbow, high knee, and a corner clothesline. Nash drops DDP with snake eyes on the exposed turnbuckle, a running straddle, and a big boot, before nailing the jackknife powerbomb. When Macho Man would run down and hit Kevin from behind, with the ref calling for the disqualification.
Fans boo, and I agree.
Savage grabs the title to whack Nash with as well, as officials come out to get Macho out of the ring. When Eric Bischoff tells the ref to restart the match. So I guess Bischoff is the one in charge?
Yeah, so there was no reason to have that president match?
So match gets going again, and Page hits numerous kicks and a side Russian leg sweep for a 2 count. Smashes Big Sexy's head into the exposed turnbuckle and takes him down with a clothesline for a near fall. A sleeper is applied, which Nash escapes with elbows and tosses DDP to the ropes to lock on a sleeper of his own, with the champ breaking it up with a jawbreaker. Page grabs a chair and swings away, but Kevin moves in time, so DDP ends up hitting himself in the face as it bounces off the ropes, with Big Sexy crawling over to make the cover for the pin. And no, DDP gets his shoulder up. Nash now has the chair, only for Page to check his lug nuts, allowing DDP to grab the weapon, but Big Sexy nails a big boot to send the steel back into his opponent's face.
Can't win for trying, DDP.
Kevin drops the straps and delivers another jackknife powerbomb for the pin and the win. And
I can't be excited about it.
Tony Schiavone then says his goodbyes, and we fade to black. So I ask you, Michael, what are your overall thoughts of Slamboree 1999?
I know DDP's a heel. I'll let him win. But I've got plenty of complaints about this show, but it did feel like an actual pay-per-view.
Yeah.
If I wasn't watching it at a higher rate of speed, maybe it would have been more painful, but overall it wasn't like watching paint dry or anything. And I'm not even going to begin to talk about booking. I'll let you take the reins on that one.
I think I'm going to be nicer than I probably should be on this show.
I think I was moderately nice.
I mean, I literally planned on showing up and you guys like shitting all over this show because it's not a good show. Like, there's literally one good match, and that's the tag team match, and that's
the first 30 minutes of the show.
I'm not even gonna say it's like the best match that we've seen out of any of these guys
because they had to do everything because it was a 6-person tag team match. So like when everybody does everything, you kind of your eyes start to glaze over, even though it's cool. You got to build tension, and it doesn't really get to happen in those situations, or it's much harder to pull off.
Yeah, but the inmates are definitely running the asylum.
Yeah,
as certain decisions were made because people were protecting their spot. And that's where I want to bring up the two things that I mentioned earlier. Like Stevie Ray, he's all like, I'm not losing clean. You need to bring someone out to make me not look as bad.
It's also crazy that he even can request that.
Rick Steiner thinking, hey, even though I've been gone for 5 months, like I literally just showed back up, Booker T's been getting over.
Yep.
But I want my spot. Because Rick no-sells 90% of Booker's offense in that match.
Yeah, pretty wild.
Like, I love Rick Steiner as well. Like,
but that was unprofessional. And the only other thing is like, oh, maybe the reason to take it off of Booker would be to push him up the card. I mean, but still,
it's possible.
But regardless
of taking the belt off of him,
you gotta sell.
Rick didn't do Booker any.
It was disrespectful.
Didn't help him at all in that match. I mean, Roddy does it as well. Like if he's gonna lose, he requires multiple things to happen so he doesn't lose clean. It's just those kind of things. Like all the Sting and Goldberg. Well, you can't put one of them over because why would we put one of them over? Because there are two of our most popular people in the club. And
Goldberg is more popular than Sting. I heard the crowd.
So we have to have someone come down and cause a disqualification because we can't have one of them actually win clean.
So why have
the match? Yeah. Exactly. It's those things. And like so many people talk about, finger poke of doom is what started the downfall of WCW. Like that was a bad moment.
It's a memorable. It's one you can point at.
It did start before that.
No pun intended.
But it's things like what happened on this show.
Yeah. Is
what makes everyone go, why are we watching this still?
Yeah. You told me that Sting and Goldberg were gonna have a match on pay-per-view. Yeah. We expect bunk finishes on weekly television to build to matches.
Yeah.
But in one of your quote unquote triple main events, we're just doing a no-win DQ with two of the biggest faces, two of the t-shirts you can get in the Walmart at the time.
Yeah. But at the same time, I didn't hate the show.
Yeah, like I said, it was watchable. There's some of the fun, stupid shit, like the reinstatement Macho Man match, which, on paper is stupid. It makes no sense, but it wasn't boring. It was fun.
I said there was one good match.
Yeah.
Charles Robinson and Gorgeous George is my favorite match of the night.
It was the most fun, 20 minutes on the show. And it was helped by having all of that other junk around it. Yeah. It's elevated by Ric Flair and Macho Man Randy Savage, whereas all those other bunk finishes or stupid finishes or dusty finishes weren't to the benefit of anybody really.
Exactly.
Good. Where's the smart marks at? All right, fuck you.
I think it's time we smark it up. So what are some of the best moments of this show?
To be honest, it's like we were just saying, the goofier shit was kind of the most entertaining. Your Flair and Piper, your Gorgeous George and Charles Robinson.
Arn Anderson with the spine buster.
I definitely popped for that.
I literally, when he retired, I was like, I'm never going to get to do my spine buster call ever again. Because I won't do it for anyone else.
No.
Arn's the only one that gets the spine buster call.
Which is funny, too, because you're saying it like a Japanese announcer, but it's Arn Anderson, who isn't one of these Americans that's more famous in Japan.
Like I just said, Robinson and Gorgeous George is my favorite match of the night.
It's obviously not the best, but it's for entertainment value.
And then, I think literally the second best match is probably Nash and Page. Yeah. And I fucking hate the finish.
Yeah.
Because I'm still reeling from two matches before going, who's the fucking authority figure?
And then the authority figure comes back
out. And then Bischoff comes back out and is like, so is it Bischoff? So tomorrow on Nitro, if I tune into Nitro tomorrow,
who's going to be called president?
Flair and Piper are not going to be in control of the show. Correct? Is that what I should come out of this evening thinking?
It'd be funny if he's like, start the match or whatever, and then Ric Flair comes out and he's like, no, the match is over. Yeah.
And then Piper comes out, no, restart the match.
Yeah.
For a show that I don't hate, that's really the only good moments of the show are what we just talked about.
Yeah. Yeah. For some reason, it was this on paper. We should be shitting on hard.
Yeah.
We should be like, fuck this. Why do we do this shit? But somehow this was watchable, even though it was nonsensical.
Yeah. How about most disappointing? So we could shit on it some more. I mean, I feel like Brian Knobbs and Bam Bam is not a hardcore match. It's a what can I hit you with match.
Yeah, there was just trash cans and cookie sheets.
Like, there was no resemblance of any kind of match in there.
I don't know that they did a wrestling move outside of the suplex at the end. Like,
Bam Bam did a power slam, and he did a diving headbutt.
Yes.
And then, yes, at the very end,
the splash and suplex.
The suplex through the table. Literally everything else in that match was
punches, kicks,
hitting the other person with plunder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And nobody bled.
Buff Bagwell and Scott Steiner, you would think that with them having a resemblance of a feud, because, they were friends for a long time.
Have been since the Steiner brothers broke up.
And then broke up, that match would have a little bit more to it, but Big Papa Pump basically controlled the entire match. And then the one time Buff gets the advantage, the guy who was feuding, he was part of the feud with Rick Steiner.
Yeah.
For a year. I mean, literally just going back to the Steiner feud thing. You're going to just trust him all of a sudden?
Yeah.
Why? Like, it makes no sense. And blood's always thicker than water, guys. Always.
Absolutely.
We already mentioned Sting and Goldberg. Like, they shouldn't be in a match if you're not willing to have a winner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
DDP was great in his match because DDP as a heel just kicks ass, and his performance was great, but
yeah,
what else can we say? The fans want Nash to win. Nash controls the book, and Nash wants Nash to win.
Pretty much. I did forget a best moment, but I did mention it during the show. But it was the laying of the seeds between DDP and Bam Bam.
Yeah.
Because it's not a spoiler, really, but they form a faction.
Yeah.
Here. Basically, probably the next time we see them, they'll be together. Because it's right after Paige loses the belt that they do their thing.
Which is good because that elevates Bam Bam, who's just kind of been flapping in the wind his entire career, really. But
best performer of the night, Charles Robinson.
He's good. I might go DDP, but Charles Robinson doesn't get to do this very often. And DDP's kind of basically always good.
I mean, he did the Flair impression for his match.
Yeah.
And then he came out for the Flair match and played the heel ref perfectly.
Yeah. He can have it.
And most surprising. Is there anything surprising on this show? Other than maybe that Charles Robinson and Gorgeous George had my favorite match.
Yeah, for sure. That totally checks out. But I would say wasn't expecting to see Medusa, I guess. Maybe.
I mean, she showed up on Nitro.
Did she? I don't even remember that.
Yeah.
But she showed up, I guess, with the Madness crew, and I just
She helped him out.
Well, it didn't stick in my mind, so
probably just going a little mad.
Yeah.
For the thousands in attendance and the millions watching around the world, Ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble!
Turn the lights down, turn the projector on, because we're ready to rumble. This week, the movie is The Meanest Man in the World. It was released February 12th, 1943 by 20th Century Fox. Directed by Sidney Landfield and written by George Seaton, who's a 5-time Oscar nominee with 2 wins, and Alan House. It would star Jack Benny, Priscilla Lane, Rochester, Edward Gwynn, who's a 2-time Oscar nominee with 1 win, and Matt Briggs.
Guy's name is just Rochester?
It was a stage name.
Yeah, I figured as much.
Yeah.
But it's like, you normally get like Cher, Madonna, but Rochester.
Yeah. The plot of this film is a compassionate lawyer pretends to be heartless in order to boost his clientele, but it jeopardizes his romantic life. And some trivia on this one is Jack Benny had final approval on the script, director, and co-star. And he was unhappy with the principal photography. So he would bring in Ernst Lubowitz and Maury Reinskind to oversee some reshoots. And a lawsuit was brought to the courts by a group of lawyers in Connecticut, charging that this comedy showed the legal profession in a disreputable light. The lawsuit would be thrown out by the Connecticut Superior Court.
It's like, everybody knows. It's not a secret.
Yeah.
Maybe it was to some people in 1943, but it wouldn't be for much longer.
No. Some reviews and ratings of this one. IMDb has it at a 6.5, while Letterboxd has it at a 3.1. And I found this review from the New York Times in 1943 by TMP. Whatever those initials mean, I don't know. But Benny and Rochester make the most of the 57 minutes at their disposal.
Ooh, it's a short one.
Not to be denied its laughs. It emerges as a pleasant little homespun comedy. And my review of this one is it's a fun, lightweight comedy that spends almost too much time telling you how nice of a guy our main character is.
They're just hammering you over the head with it.
But when it finally cracks into action, the laughs do start rolling. The sidekick, played by Eddie Anderson, helped make the dialogue fly when he and Benny were together. There was a blackface scene played for laughs as our main character needed to hide from the crowds.
There's one in every movie.
Feels like it back in that day. The wrestler of this film is Tor Johnson, with this being our 7th time to see him. And he's playing Vladimir Pulisky, a former wrestler turned wannabe bodyguard. His one scene shows him charging into a room to take down the father-in-law before getting the final joke and line of the film.
Hey, you got the last joke?
Yeah. I give this movie a 3.5. I thought it was a good time. Like I said, Jack Benny and his sidekick, their
Pittering and pattering.
Their back and forth was really good. Tor Johnson, his wrestler performance, I gave him a 3.5. I actually, the last line of the film, I audibly laughed out loud to the line. So it was very enjoyable.
What do you say? I'm going to go home and have sex with my wife.
Not quite that. But if you want to watch this one, it is on YouTube, so you can go out there and find it. It's 57 minutes long. It's a fun time. Just check it out.
57 minutes. Not bad at all.
Next week, we're headed across the pond for No Mercy, United Kingdom, 1999. And music from this week's show is the theme from Slamboree. And Kevin Nash won our main event, so we play the Wolfpack theme by Jimmy Hart and Howard Helm.
It's funny to think that Jimmy Hart had something to do with that little hip-hop tune.
I mean, Sexy Boy, Wolfpack theme. There's one other one that DDP's theme, Self High Five. I think he was the only one with any musical talent probably on the staff, so they were like, hey, Jimmy, you do something.
Yeah. A little extra scratch.
If you like this episode or any of our other ones, go out there and rate and review us on iTunes, Spotify, YouTube, or wherever you find your podcast at. Do as Michael says.
5 stars and no stars. You hear what we go through for you.
And if you have any questions, comments, concerns, recipes, as I mentioned, headed across the pond for the Manchester, England.
Beans on toast. I know, but that's the only thing I can think of.
But
No,
it's
bangers
delicious.
and mash.
But you can send any of those to our email at wrestlinghistoryx@gmail.com or find us on X at WrestlingHistoX. That's Wrestling HISTO. X. We'll talk to you next week.
Laters.